I'm making myself smaller to fit in this relationship. I'm having to dumb myself down a bit to be with this person. I'm having to act like I don't want XYZ to be with this person, but I do want XYZ. Reality and the truth is that not everybody is meant for you. Not everybody has the capacity for you. You are extremely expensive, and the average guy, sorry, not sorry, just does not measure up. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are doing well. So in today's video, we are talking about something that God showed me. However, I feel like it can pertain to a lot of you guys, and the analogy that I'm going to show may pertain to a lot of you guys as well. But before we get into the video, I want to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. So I want to talk to those who are maybe having a really hard time. On this channel, we are talking about leveling up and focusing on ourselves, and this concept for some people may be very, very difficult because you alone cannot help yourself. And it is so daunting to watch everyone be so optimistic and positive about the new year while you just feel lost. Trust me, I've been there. But therapy helped me a lot out of the dark hole that I was in. So if you are looking for an online licensed therapist where you do not have to leave the comfort of your own home, you better check out BetterHelp. With BetterHelp, you can access their network of over 20,000 licensed therapists. It is not a crisis line, it's not self-help, it is professional therapy done securely online. BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own personal licensed professional therapist. If you've ever searched for a counsellor in your area, you know it can take up to weeks or even months just to get a phone call back. With BetterHelp, you can start communicating in as little as 48 hours. BetterHelp is available for clients worldwide, and you can log into your account anytime and send a message to your therapist. You'll get timely and thoughtful responses, plus you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches. They make it easy and free to change therapists if you need to. It's way more affordable than traditional offline therapy, and financial aid is also available. BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life right now. So you can get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/BreenyLee. So visit betterhelp.com/BreenyLee. That's BetterHelp, HELP, and join the 1 million people taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional therapist. Wow. So the woman that we are speaking about in this video is the excellent woman that we spoke about in last week's video. And I feel like excellent women, we have the hardest time finding someone to love and be loved by. And it's not because there is something wrong with us like these podcasts want us to believe. However, it is that we are so expensive that the average Joe is just not enough. And I'm going to be using some language in this video: too small, expensive, not enough. My audience, you are women who are high value women, you are women of substance, you are women of quality, of value. So I know it definitely won't offend you, but I know that there's going to be men that are too small to even comprehend what I'm saying. And I ask that you guys do not argue with them in the comments, that you just take away what you need to take away from today's video. And like I said, we are not your average woman. We are women that know who we are, have been through enough trials and tribulations, come out on the other end bigger and better. We are women who are healed or still healing. We are women that are aware of our value. We know our calling in life. We know where we're going in life. We have goals, we have dreams, we have vision, we have ambition. We are women that just have that feeling inside that we were called for something bigger and better. We don't know what it is. We just know that inside there's something great for us to do. And whether you are famous or not, people know your name or not, you know exactly who you are. And you are extremely expensive. And the average guy, sorry, not sorry, just does not measure up. Let's be honest. You're a woman who has tried to humble herself and get with the guy that is quote unquote average. Get with a guy that is not quite on your level. And when I'm speaking about level, I'm not just talking about financially. However, that too is very important. I'm not going to dismiss that. I'm talking about on your level of ambition, on your level mentally, emotionally, spiritually. They are nice guys, and on paper, you wouldn't be able to necessarily fault them. However, you with them, you in that relationship with them, constantly feel a sense of, I'm settling. I'm making myself smaller to fit in this relationship. I'm having to dumb myself down a bit to be with this person. I'm having to act like I don't want XYZ to be with this person, but I do want XYZ. But the reality and the truth is that not everybody is meant for you. Not everybody has the capacity for you. And I love that word so much, because when I first heard it years ago, it just made so much sense. Like, there are guys out there that just cannot, and we use the word handle, but it's not that we want to be handled, it's that we want to be covered. We want to be protected. We want to be embraced. All of who we are and all of who we will be. And it's like with men that don't have the capacity for you. You can't be all of who you are, because these men just don't understand. They just can't understand you. They can't read you. They can't, on a spiritual level, understand the gravity and, as Sarah Jakes would say, the weight of who you are. And I may just be speaking to a small percentage of women, but I know exactly who this video is for. And I'm speaking directly to you. And I want you to know that I understand. Typically, these men who can't see who you are. Wait, did I wear this top in my last video? I wore this top in my last video. No, I didn't. It was a lighter one. Oh, it was a different one. Sorry. Yeah, when a man doesn't understand or comprehend fully who you are, doesn't know how to manage, doesn't know how to handle you, they will typically try to find a way to control you. And the reason why they try to control you or confine you is because it makes them feel uncomfortable. And my last relationship, when I was writing down some of the red flags whilst I was still in a relationship, and I will read exactly what I wrote down in my red flags note. I said, I fear that if I grow past where I am, would he be able to handle it? Now that is very telling. And it's like, if I make you feel uncomfortable now and I haven't reached my full potential, I haven't even peaked yet, what are you going to do when I am a multi-millionaire traveling the world, speaking to tens and hundreds of thousands of people, when more people know my name, when I become my best self? What are you going to do if you can't handle me where I am? Or when I tell you about my small wins or my wins, you're not even enthusiastic about it, or you find a way to try and sun me, try to find a way to downplay me. What are you gonna do? I want you guys to know that I know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? Because I've experienced this firsthand, not just with him, but with others as well. There were literally times when I didn't want people to compliment me in front of him because I didn't want him to feel comfortable. Because I know that when people have complimented me in front of him or told him about me, he's almost shrugged it off and been like, I remember when I was in Antigua, one of the ladies that was selling something, she was like, your wife is so beautiful. And I was like, gosh, don't say that. Don't say it in front of him. But I kind of smiled and was like, thank you. I don't even think he even acknowledged it, to be honest. We just continued on walking. And like, I know the type of man that I want to be with. Like, if someone says your wife is beautiful, I want him to have the biggest smile on his face. I want him to grab me and hold me and make a little cute joke or something. I never felt like I could be me, all of me, with him. And that is so sad. I even remember he came to one of my shows, and after the event, someone came up to us and was like to him, oh, you're so lucky. And I automatically felt the urge, not because I necessarily meant it, but I automatically felt the urge to say, no, I'm the lucky one, to kind of diffuse it. Like, I didn't want him to go home thinking, what does she mean I'm lucky? This is techie, mate. It's techie. It's like a lot of time was spent making sure that he felt man enough. And at the end, it just wasn't enough. And he would even say to me at times, I can't give you what you're asking for. I feel like I'm not enough. And I would say, you are enough. Honestly, he wasn't enough. And it sounds bad, but honesty is the best policy. Don't try and make him enough. He either is or he isn't. The bare minimum stuff that I was asking him to do, he could not do it because it wasn't in him to do, right? I'm going to talk about settling a little bit later, But what I did want to show you guys is the visual analogy that God showed me about my future husband and the different types of guys that I've dated in the past, okay? The Bible talks about our husbands being our spiritual covering. The Bible says the head of every man is Christ and the head of every woman is her husband. Your husband will be your spiritual covering, your physical covering, your protector, your provider. Our husbands have the bigger responsibility when it comes to us, which means that your husband has to be greater than you in many different aspects. And this is why it's so important to know who you are, because when you know who you are, you know what type of man you need. When you know where you're going, you know what type of man you would need to go with you there. And it's crazy because I have male friends who, even when I was in a relationship, saw me more than my ex saw me. And they would speak into my future, they would speak into where I'm going. And one of my good friends, Michael, which I speak about so much on his channel, always told me, Breeny, you're going XYZ. This is the type of man that you need. You need a man that's going to be secure. I mean, very secure. So that when there's women around that are trying to get at him, that he only has eyes for you. Like, this is what my male friends just say to me, like, and encourage me so much. And it's so true. Your husband has to be great. He has to have big arms, big hands to handle you as the wife. There's so many unequally yoked relationships where the wife is a giant spiritually, mentally, physically. But you know what I mean? And the husband is just there. And I'm not saying that because there's some men, like if you look at Joyce Meyer and her husband, I'm not saying that she's greater than him because we don't know what happens behind closed doors. However, God's given Joyce Meyer the bigger vision and he's there to support. As long as the man that you're with or the man that you are wanting to be with will support you, encourage you, cover you, even if he doesn't have what you have, even if he doesn't have the same calling as you, he cannot be insecure. That's the main point. When you know who you are, you're going to know what type of man is going to compliment you or stifle you. I'm going to get into this analogy that God gave me after I went for my breakup last year. So let's not waste any time. Let's get into it. There are men out there that are just not big enough for you. And this is what you look like trying to be covered by them. There are other men out there who talk a good game. They could fool you and your mama. They act like they're so secure in themselves. They act like they know who they are. They even may look manly. They may even look like they can handle and cover you. And people from the outside may be like, this is a great match. He looks like he's just strong enough for her. But you know, in the relationship, the insecurities that the person has, they take out on you. The many ways he tries to tear you down, to downplay you. And the truth is, he cannot fully cover you because he's not big enough for you. Like you can see, I am not fully covered. Just about. A lot of women settle hair. He's just about big enough for me. They will settle hair and be like, yeah, this is the one. But if you are to grow and get bigger and bigger, that covering gets smaller and smaller and smaller for you. Now, this is the man that God has for you and the man God has for me. So listen up, future wives. He is able to cover you and then some. And the then some is your flaws, your quirks, the annoying parts about you, your grumpiness, your monthly mood swings, your occasional wrong ways of thinking, basically your imperfections, which we all have. All the things that make us human. That's the then some. That's the overflow of his covering. Not only that, what he also is able to cover is your ambition, what you've managed to achieve and what you still have potential to achieve. He can cover the money that you're making now and the money that you are about to make. He can cover the children that you don't have yet. And even if you do have children, he's able to cover those children too. This man's arms are so wide, his vision is so wide that it's more than enough to cover every part of you. And if this doesn't get you excited about your potential husband, I don't know what will. This is the man you should be looking for. So for those of you who are out there dating, collect your data, collect the data that you need, and see if this man will be able to cover you wholly. Test him. Talk about what you've achieved. Talk about what you want to achieve. See his posture. Does he get a bit fidgety, or does he stare you in the eye? Does his eyes light up when you're telling him about your goals and your dreams and your vision? Does he get a smile on his face? Does he become happy? Does he become in awe? Or does he kind of be like, I don't know why these women are always telling me about their accomplishments. Man don't really care like that still. Like, does he get intimidated? How does he react? Watch his reaction. Tell him the right things. Ask the right questions, ladies. This will tell you everything. Watch the reaction. Sense the energy, okay? Because a lot of things that guys do are non-verbal. Watch his eyes. Is he looking around? Is he paying attention to what you're saying? Does he feel uncomfortable? You'll see it. You ladies, do not need a man that is so small that you make him feel insecure. You're not trying to make him feel insecure. His insecurities are making him feel inferior and insecure. You do not need a man that is going to compete with you. You need a man that's going to complete with you. I am not marrying any man who is in competition with me, because I'm not in competition with you, babe. What's mine is yours. What's yours is mine. Let's win together. Let's be on the same team together. We can both win, both separately and together as a couple. I am not your competition, babe. Stop fighting me and fight with me. And here's another thing. And even when I told my ex this, he felt like he needs to boost me up to boost my self-esteem. That wasn't it. You need to be bigging me up whether I'm in your presence or not. What you say about me when I'm not there is also important too. We live in a world of social media. So if you're not posting my pictures, if you're not posting us together, if that's your thing, if you're not promoting what I do on your stories, even on your main feed. And I want to just do a side note. And I'm concerned about Adele and her boyfriend, because when Adele's album dropped, I went on his page. There was nothing, not even a story to congratulations, babe. But I'll hold off my judgment until a later date. I remember that I put on this really big event. Lots of people came, and part of the event was sponsored by NHS, and a part of the event you could go and you could check your blood type and register to give blood, etc., etc. My ex at the time posted on his story, guys, if you want to come down and check your blood type, you should come to this event. And he posted the flyer. Mind you guys, the flyer had nothing to do with giving blood. It was completely different. Not once did he post the event as in, my girl is putting an event, you guys come down. It was, if you want to give blood, come down. And I saw it and I clocked it and I didn't say anything, and I was just like, noted. Okay, cool. But then on the day of my event, he came and he wanted to argue with me because I asked him that morning, babe, are you going to get up and load the van? Which we had already agreed to do. He got upset and felt like, who are you to talk to me like that? And who are you talking to the people that are helping you with this event like that? The only person that had a problem with the way that I was speaking to the people that were helping me was him. Guys, that is a red MF flag. And I know you guys have got stories, because I've heard stories about something similar. If you're not coming to my event to promote me and to help me and to make me feel good, what the hell are you there for? You guys need to pay attention to the red flags. How does he react when good things happen for you? Is he enthusiastic? Is he your biggest cheerleader? Is he saying, babe, I'm so proud of you. You're so amazing. I knew you could do it. And not in these words, in his words, how he would react if something exciting happened, right? Is he gassing you up? Is he telling everyone and their mom about it? I don't want to make this video about my ex, but it's really, really important to see the contrast of what I'm talking about, and also those who may be experiencing these red flags in their relationship as well. You guys can kind of have a gauge. A few of his friends that I knew before I even knew him had a problem with me. They wasn't for our relationship. Of course, I found that out after the relationship ended, but still, his friends didn't necessarily like or were not for me, even though they knew me longer than I knew him. But bigger than that, his mum began to have a problem with me and what I did for a living and how I presented myself on social media. And one of the reoccurring and big arguments and things that I had against him in a relationship was that I didn't feel like he defended me. I would always question, like, what on earth do you tell these people for them to have such a negative view of me? It seems like you're painting me out to be some kind of monster, and it's really annoying me because all of my friends have only positive things to say about you because I've only ever bigged you up and made you seem like a king. It just doesn't make any sense how your people don't favor me the way that my people favor you, and I've done nothing. But he would swear till he's blue in the face that he defends me, right? And so I had a dream one night, and the dream was there was this African woman walking towards me, shouting, yelling, arms waving, and she slapped me across the face. And I turned to my left, and my ex was standing there, and he said and did nothing. Listen, when God speaks to you in dreams, pay attention. Silly me though, I woke up and I shared a dream with him. He kind of like laughed it off and was like, what, you think I don't defend you? I'm not going to defend you. And I was like, I don't know, but that dream really, really like rattled me. But he kind of like played it off like, that's not going to happen. But I really did keep that dream close to my heart. And I really felt like God was telling me, this man is not going to protect you, period. But listen, guys, if a man cannot protect you emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, he's not ever, ever, ever going to be enough for you. That is his capacity, and you either accept it or you leave it alone. So let's talk about shrinking for a little bit. And I read this post from a girl called Caitlin. I follow her on Instagram, and she recently got engaged. And when I read this post, it really confirmed that I needed to make this video. She wrote this post about her husband, and I'm not going to read all of it. I will put it on the screen so you guys can screenshot it if you want to read it. She said, one thing I'm most grateful to God for is giving me a man who I didn't have to shrink for. I've had to unlearn and sacrifice, but I've never had that uneasy feeling of needing to shrink who I am. It's that unsettling feeling of having to slow down, hide, downplay, or dilute the weight of who you are and what you contain. Oof. Shivers. I had felt it many times prior to meeting Philip. I knew that I couldn't happily exist, let alone grow with that at the foundation of a relationship. When I met Philip, I was stunned by his security. He knows who he is in Christ and isn't intimidated by anyone. That is key. Don't be intimidated by me, but don't be intimidated by any man either. From the infancy of our relationship, he would show intrigue and support for the call of God on my life and all of the complexities that it involves. And as we blossomed as a couple, he constantly made it his joy to create an environment for me to flourish, from giving me ideas for my law essays to helping me sort out my itinerant ministry schedule when I got overwhelmed. This man has enriched my life and brought ease to what can be a demanding journey. Whew. I could cry right now. God has truly gifted me with a man who can stand beside me as an equal in my highest moments of victory and still handle me with tenderness in my most fragile moments that the world would never see. His love was something I had always hoped for, but deep down doubted its possibility. But as always, being with Philip reminds me of the truth that what the scripture says, that nothing is impossible with God. I'm glad I didn't shrink for companionship despite the many temptations too. I'm thankful that I didn't abandon the vision God placed in my heart for a kingdom marriage and family because of temporary discontentment I often felt. The peace, the liberty, the rest, this kind of love was so worth the wait. God, when? No, that is so beautiful. Oh my God. That is so beautiful. Honestly, like, I read it when he first posted it, but reading it again was like, that's all we asked for. That's all we're asking for. And it's like she said, that uneasy feeling of trying to put your foot into a size 3 shoe when you wear a size 7. It's uncomfortable for you and it's uncomfortable for the shoe. You almost feel like an obese person trying to get with someone that is so skinny. You almost feel like a bomb hitting a house, right? And it's almost like you trying to shrink your brain to be able to comprehend or to get on their level. And it's like, I don't want to get on your level. Like, I need you to come up. Stop talking about social media. Stop talking about stupid, irrelevant, immature stuff. Stop talking about stupid stuff.
I don't care.
Give me some intellectual stimulation. And I'm not saying this because a guy is young. He may not mentally be there. A guy could be 5 years older than you and still be younger than you mentally. And I remember a guy that I went on a date with, just one date after I broke up with my ex. And he said to me, like, how old was your ex? And I told him 1 or 2 years older than me. And he was like, no, you need a guy that is older. You need a guy that is older than you. And I agree with him. I agree that I need someone that is like 7, 8 years plus. At the same time, I'm not going to be like, if God sends me that secure man who knows who he is, that has his stuff in order, that he happens to be younger than me, I'm not going to dismiss him because he's younger than me. But I do know, when I think about maturity and I think about a person knowing who they are, I know it takes years to get to that place. I don't have to be like, oh, maybe I have to shrink to this person. Maybe we can work it out. No. Guys, all I know is that my husband is going to be a unicorn. I've always felt this. I've always felt like, God, you're going to have to drop him out of the sky, because I know my husband is a unicorn. He's a one in a lifetime, a needle in a haystack. And I believe that many of you guys are going to marry a unicorn as well. That's why they're not so readily available, right? You might not meet them on Tinder. You might not meet them on Hinge. You might not meet them on social media. You might not meet them at the grocery store. You might not meet them at the event. You might not meet them out in these streets, because they're not out in these streets, right? They're getting their 2nd and 3rd degrees. They're hustling. They're keeping their head down. They're starting that business. They aren't sitting on podcasts talking down on women. They're not in YouTube comments slagging women off and taking out their hurt and their pain on women that never hurt them. They're busy building businesses, and they're hustling and quiet, and they're becoming husbands to meet you. So ladies, don't get discouraged because you went to this single event, you went to this event, you went to this church, you went to that church, you did this, you did that, and you still haven't managed to find him. Don't worry about that. Understand, as you are preparing yourself to be a wife, he's also preparing himself to be a husband. And when God sees that perfect timing to bring you guys together, he will do that, and he will create a fusion, and it will be absolutely beautiful. And I continue to hold on to that hope because I believe it. I believe it with my whole soul. And it's not a matter of something being wrong with you. And I understand it's frustrating. And my only tip for you guys is to get out of the game. Stop playing the game. I'm no longer dating. The next person I date, I said it before, is going to be my husband. And that is going to be a man that actively pursues me, a guy that I've got confirmation from God that this is my husband, okay? We're not playing no more games, okay? Because the one thing that you guys can't see, as much as you want a boyfriend, you want a man for Valentine's Day, you want a man for this and that and this and that and this and that, God can see the future. God can see the trials and the tribulation that you will face, that you will need a man that is strong. Not a man that looks strong, but a man that is strong, that will be able to pray for you, that will be able to cover you in every area, that will be able to provide for you, okay? He's not trying to do 50-50. No shade, that's not what I'm looking for. But he's not calculating, oh, this is your half and this is my half. He's a real man. And the final thing that I will say, the guy that God has for you is expensive, okay? He is expensive. He's not your average guy. So what you need to do as a woman is to continue to raise your price, because it could just be that the price you are at now is too cheap for the man that God has for you. He will overlook you because he's like, she seems like a good woman, but why is her price so low? And you know when you go to a shop and you're trying to buy something, you're like, this is a really nice outfit. Why is it so doggone cheap? That puts people off. Continue to raise your price, ladies. And make sure you guys check out my last video on how to be an excellent woman. Let's raise our price. And when you raise your price, you're raising your price for the only one that can afford you. Yes, you may not be pick of the day, okay? You may not be getting any attention. It's okay, right? You're not looking for low-hanging fruit. You're looking for the fruit that is high. You got to climb to get that. You got to be at a place as a woman to get that. When you go to Walmart or you go to Primark, they have loads of customers. There's loads of people there. Why? Stuff is cheap there. You go into Chanel, they have a bodyguard by the door, right? And you'll see about 2 or 3 people in there. But those 2 or 3 people that are in that Chanel store are serious. They are serious about what they're looking for and what they're about to purchase. Keep on raising your price, okay? You're doing it for you. You're doing it for God. You're doing it for the benefit of your husband, your future husband. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I definitely enjoyed making it. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel for more of this. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.